So in this video, we'll just do an unboxing of this V850 SFX Gold power supply from Coolermaster. This is of course a fully modular 80 plus gold certified SFX power supply. And this is just the standard SFX sizing, so not SFX large or long. So this is the shorter form factor as well, and I believe this is the highest rated in terms of wattage PSU, SFX PSU you can get out there. It is a 850 watt, of course, you can see that by the name there, V850. I'm going to use this with my 3080 Tough OC that actually recommended an 850 watt power supply, and I'm going to build a small form factor PC in a micro or mini ITX case rather. So this one is the highest wattage I could get in my country at least, and it was in stock, and yeah, I am kind of curious to check it out there. It does have a semi-passive fan and also a 10-year warranty, and it does have Japanese capacitors, which are of course of the good quality once they're from Japan. You can see some of the specifications here. Of course, it has a 92mm FDB fan, typical efficiency 90%, and operating temperature of 0 to 50 degrees. And like I said, it does have some kind of semi-passive mode. I'm not really sure completely how much you have to push this power supply to actually get the fan to spin, but I believe you actually have to push it quite a bit. And a little bit of information here on the side. Bottom section here, many different languages again, and you can see the model number down there. And this is the European version, of course, because I live in Europe. And on the back side here, we do see all of the connectors that you have included. And you can see it also comes with a SFX to ATX adapter. So of course you can also use it in an ATX build, which is kind of nice. Quite 92 dB FDB fan. So FDB apparently means that the fan creates less friction, making it greater for low RPM operations. I guess it's just branding. Doesn't most fans do that? It doesn't really say anything about its semi-passive mode. I'm not really sure. I believe there is a generation 1 and a generation 2 of these power supplies. I'm not really sure if this is actually generation 1 or 2. So yeah, let's just test that out, get into it, and let's just cut all this plastic here, starting from here. And we are inside the box. So we got a little bit of a user guide here, so explaining the pinout of all of those plugs there, which can be quite handy, but of course you can just find that information online. And in many different languages as well. We have a little bit of anti-moisture bag there. We have that bracket. So from SFX to ATX bracket, and some zip ties and a few Velcro ties as well, and also some mounting screws. And there's of course 2 sets of screws. So if you want to mount it in this bracket, of course you need to first mount it to the bracket itself and then to the case. Kind of nice to include all the screws for that. And the Velcro tabs is actually Coolermaster branding. I don't know if you can see that in there. I'm just going to leave it in its bag for now, so I can keep it organized. Next up, we do have all of the cables. These ones I kind of want to check out and have a closer look at. So apparently this one was packed in June 2021. So that is like less than a year ago. I am filming this in April 26th of 2022. So let's just get into it and have a closer look at what we get here. So we have a PCI Express cable. I believe we do get 3 of these. Let's see if we can find them all here. 2 of them. No, we only get 2, or only in abstracts, 2 PCI Express connectors here. So I'm going to use both of them from my 3080 graphics card. So maybe you shouldn't really use it with like 3090 cards or something like that, because you can only really draw power from 2 cables into this power supply here. One ATX, of course, for your motherboard and for your PSU here. PSU. We got some old style Molex connectors. So we get 4 of those. We get multiple SATA connectors. So we get 2 cables with 4 SATA connectors on each. So that's 8 total SATA connections, which is kind of nice and should be plenty for most people. And also kind of stuff you connect inside the case needs SATA power often. And we do also get 2 CPU headers here for the motherboard. So of course, for a more beefier motherboard that requires 2 8-pins, you can use this power supply as well. And last but not least, we do also get the European plug here, or cable, with the big 3-prong plug here in the other side. So yeah, pretty much all you really need to get up and running here. Last but not least, we have that very tiny power supply. That kind of surprised me a little bit how tiny it actually is. I don't really have an ATX power supply on hand, but man, how tiny. That's just cute. Let's get it out of this packaging here. Man, this thing is very heavy, very dense. A lot of components in there. You have that little FDB fan there, semi-passive fan, hopefully. You have all those connections here on the back side, of course, for all the cables I just showed you. So if you want SATA, you'll just connect the, where is it? This plug to your HDD plug here on the PSU. And of course, if you want to connect PCI Express, you use one of those cables or one of those plugs here, 8-pin plugs on the power supply, and connect PCI Express, and so on and so on. So nice, it's modular because I'm probably going to use one SATA cable, motherboard cable, and of course graphics card cable, and also CPU cable. I'm not really going to use all of them, so it's nice that I can leave some of them behind, especially for a build like this one here, where it's small form factor build, mini ITX. It's probably the main use case of this power supply. We do have a little sticker here. It says the fan will not spin until a specific core temperature is reached. So it does have a semi-passive mode, but this is the first time I actually read about it. But it's nice that they put the sticker on there, because some people can maybe get a little concerned if they have turned on the power and the fan is not spinning. Is it broken or what? But no, this is by design. Then of course we do have that pretty standard power plug there for plugging in your power cable, and actually a physical on-off switch. Very small on-off switch. A lot of ventilations here, of course, for all the heat to get out. We do have some information here, of course, all the information about the relay inside here, how much wattage you can draw from each of those. A little bit of a rating there, plus rating. Would have been nice to see a platinum rating, but maybe it's a little much to expect. Like course, I have a 750 watt platinum power supply in the same form factor, but like I said, 850 watt I think is probably the minimum I would use with my build if I end up maybe using a more beefy CPU. I only plan to use a 4-core CPU to begin with, but my 3080 graphics card are drawing around those, 350 watts. And in the future, if I wanted to upgrade to like a Ryzen 9 3900 or 5900X rather, this should also be plenty enough to power both of them. Nothing really here on the side. The back, of course, a little Coolermaster branded there, and on the left side, kind of like this little design they have going on here. Some cases you can actually see one of the sides if it's open. So yeah, they have put a little bit of design aesthetics there on the left side. So yeah, looking forward to using this power supply. I'm kind of impressed how small it is and how heavy it is. It's my first SFX power supply, so I am very interested in building with this little PSU here. But this is just a first look and unboxing video. And of course, this is everything you get included in the box. But that's pretty much it for this one. I hope to see you again in a future video. Until then, take care.